Yes.
So, what's so important about the mind body stress reset is that I pulled these tools from the research literature and I compiled them into a set of skills that could be learned. And then I conducted research. So, I was able to meet with people and see and test. I specifically tested with a group of people before and after results for self-report measures. What do they describe their stress reactivity as like before and after learning these tools? And more interestingly for scientists, if you're a scientifically minded person, we tested their cortisol. Okay, so we wanted to discover, was there not just a psychological shift, which comes through the self-report measures, but was there a physiological shift as a result of learning and utilizing these tools? And the answer was yes. Their cortisol levels dropped dramatically. There was a really good result from the research study I conducted. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe it was 96% effective in terms of cortisol reduction. So what we're seeing is if you teach your body how to find these resilience pathways, you can really create physical shifts. You can really reset your baseline from a 6, 7, or 8
Yeah.
to a level 2, 3, or even lower. So
Yeah.
that's what I feel like is so exciting about this. And the reason I felt called to write this book was because when I was looking around for these tools, they weren't so easy to find. And I had to scour, I had to search and really look under a lot of rocks. And what I really wanted to say with the book, and the reason that I wrote it very much for the general public, and very much it's humorous and it's lighthearted, although we're talking about something, of course, very difficult and very serious, is I wanted to say all of us, or maybe most of us, will experience high levels of stress at some point in our lives. And that's okay. That's the way life is. But let's not any of us remain stuck there.
Right.
Moving into stress reactivity is a normal and healthy response.
Yeah.
Staying stuck in stress reactivity is not. So,
Yeah.
what this book is really about is how to get back out. How do we help ourselves to come back from extreme stress reactivity, from these deep imprints, from our own traumatic memories? How do we come back to feel like we can function and access our resilience and access our current day well-being and really feel safe, feel okay
Yeah.
more often than not?
Yeah. I want to underscore that I really like the emphasis that you give to research, both the you cite a bunch of the research of Bessel van der Kolk and Porges and other
Mm-hmm.
people. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I really appreciate that grounding, and then that you conducted the research that you were just describing, and that you have that
Mm-hmm.
orientation. You're not anti-science in all of this, but
Not at all.
it's all really based on science, right?
Absolutely. Every tool in this book is based on rigorous scientific study. So not only did I read hundreds of studies that other scientists had conducted, but then, as you said, I turned to these founding fathers. They are all men in this case. And I really wanted to understand their theories, these deep thinkers. And then I conducted my own research so that I could see for myself what does happen. What is this body mind system capable of in terms of resilience? And I stand behind the tools with confidence after all of that work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I talk about in the book that every tool has a section, every chapter that has a tool within it has a section that talks about, as you said, scientific studies that back its efficacy up. And for those that enjoy it, you can turn to those sections in the book and enjoy it as I do. They're delicious to me. And for those of you that don't, those sections are easy to skip. It's not required that you are interested in scientific study in order to teach yourself resilience. So that's why the
No.
other part of the book really is very much, this is from me to you. This is not theoretical. I've lived through deep stress. I know this personally. And I wrote this to my fellow stress sufferers, as I talk about in the book.